हे गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल। आज की वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे एक रिक्रूटर से एंड जानेंगे व्हाट आर द एक्सपेक्टेशंस फ्रॉम अ न्यू इमिग्रेंट। गाइस, दिस इज एन एक्सीलेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू गेट इनसाइड द हेड ऑफ अ रिक्रूटर कि वो कैसे एप्लीकेशन स्क्रीन करते हैं, क्या-क्या वो देखते हैं, क्या-क्या मिस्टेक्स हम कर सकते हैं जो उनको बहुत बड़ी मिस्टेक्स लगती है जो हमारे लिए इतनी बड़ी नहीं होती। वो सब कुछ आज जानेंगे। सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। Thanks a lot, Alisha, for joining. When you apply for a job, you always know one side, which is the person who's applying. But हमें लगा कि let's call an HR who would give the other side, the perspective of the recruiter. Just introduce yourself, where you are from, and what you are doing right now, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pleasure to be here and to tell my story. I'm from India and well, specifically in India, I'm from Punjab. So I grew up there and then I completed my education there in MBA. And then after completing MBA, I relocated to Canada. So I did my post graduation in human resource management. And then that was a 1 year program. And after that, I did another course, which is strategic management. That's another 1 year program to get a better understanding of how the things operate in Canada, the work culture, the kind of skills they need. As soon as I graduated, I started working for a recruitment company. So I worked as a recruiter with them for about 2.5 years. There, I did mostly recruitment from entry to intermediate to senior level positions in finance, in accounting, in sales, in marketing, customer service, engineering, other technical positions, and basic light industrial roles as well.
I'm sure that you have recruited a lot of new immigrants. You have talked to at least a lot of new immigrants. From a recruiter's point of view, what do you think of new immigrants? They don't have any Canadian experience, most of them. So, what are you looking for as a recruiter when you are trying to talk to a new immigrant for a role?
It's a very good question because people have a lot of misconception, especially as an immigrant when they're coming here. They have misconception that without Canadian experience, you won't get a job in your own field, which is not true at all. They have this misconception that they don't have the education or the certification, though it is required in some field, but it's not mandatory. So they will be like, I'm not qualified for any jobs, and then they will apply to other positions that they don't want to do, or maybe go to other field that they are not foreseeing themselves doing that kind of work. So for me as a recruiter, first thing I look is at their resume, right? So making sure if you are an immigrant, then your resume is well done. So that's basically your whole life is there on a piece of paper. I would make sure that keep it very simple and also just don't make it very fancy. Just make sure the content you have it's very it's appropriate contact. It has content. Sorry, it has all the skills. It has all the qualification. What you want to do and all that stuff. So that is the first thing I look at is their resume. And then the second thing I look at is basically what are their skills and qualifications. I'm not looking for 100% match at all. So if I have requirements from my clients, they are saying they are looking for this type of candidate.
Right.
I'm not looking 100% fit. I'm looking even you fit like 20% or 30% to the job requirements. I will call you. I will ask you what's your background.
Okay.
So making sure that your resume has all those keywords so that someone is interested or a recruiter is interested in talking to you. And third thing I look in an immigrant is their personality. That's very important. I have seen people getting a job just because of their personality. Like even though they don't have that much skills and qualifications, but they are like some people have can do attitude and some people have know it all attitude. So I would say just be someone who has that can do attitude because that can take you to many places. I understand you have extensive experience. I understand you are pro in your field, but being humble about it, but also being open to other opportunities. Just show curiosity that you are curious in some position. You are curious in working, you have done your research, you have learned about the company, you have learned about the job. So just don't throw yourself out there, and just be curious and show that kind of personality that you want a recruiter to see or a hiring manager to see.
Hey, I've always had this question, and now that I'm talking to a recruiter, let me just ask that. There's something called as ATS, right? So, and then
Yes.
there is resumes that you just, like fancier looking resumes that you send on a referral basis. Like, what's the role of ATS in the Canadian market?
So I would say, with regards to ADS, yes, many companies use that. Not many recruiters though, because recruiters are
Hmm.
ADS.
Yeah,
We will
makes
look
sense.
at your resume and then we will make decision accordingly.
Hmm.
But there are some other firms who do not use recruitment companies, and they do their own internal hiring. And since they receive like 1,000 applications a day, they don't have the capacity like some person looking at
Right.
them all the time. So that's why they have ATS system, so they can screen the resumes. The main thing with ATS system is there are certain keywords in the job description. So for example, if I'm hiring for a customer service job, and if your resume does not have customer service in it, or
Right.
like call center or something similar on the similar line, then when it goes through ATS, it doesn't see that keyword, and then it will reject your resume,
Hmm.
irrespective of the fact that you have done customer service in the past, but that keyword is not mentioned. Also, another fact about ATS is, so if in your resume, if you have a table and then you have content in that table, so ATS will not read that content.
Hmm. Got
So
it.
make sure that your resume is very simple. No tables, nothing else, just common words, basic words regarding your experience. And so that your resume can pass through that first stage, which is ATS. And after ATS, it goes to directly either the recruiter or the
Got
hiring manager. And then it goes from there.
it. Got it. No, perfect. That makes a lot of sense. One thing that is talked about a lot in Canadian market, for that matter any market, मेरे को ये नहीं समझ आता कि लोग बोलते हैं कि अरे कनाडा की मार्केट में ये होता है, but to be honest, when I was in India, I was in Hong Kong, uh, it was the same. References work in your favor. So, from a recruiter point of view, how important do you think are references, and at what stage should you prepare those references?
If someone is giving me reference, which means I don't have to go out in the market and search for a candidate. So
Right.
it makes my life easy. That's how I benefit from reference. But the thing is, कि suppose किसी ने मुझे reference दिया, right? एंड देन किसी ने जॉब के लिए सेम जॉब के लिए अप्लाई किया, तो ये नहीं है कि मैं उसका ही रेज्यूमे देखूंगी क्योंकि वो रेफरेंस से आया है, और जिसने
Okay.
अप्लाई किया है मैं उसको नहीं देखूंगी. दैट्स
Got it.
नॉट द केस एट ऑल. बेसिक थिंग इज क्वालिफिकेशंस मीट करनी चाहिए, स्किल्स मीट करने चाहिए. इफ देयर इज a match of skills and qualification, it doesn't matter if it's coming from reference, if you're applying it online. But yes, as a recruiter, it will save my time, it will save my resources if someone is referring me the right candidate. The main
Hmm.
keyword here is right candidate should come from reference.
Let me ask you this. अगर एक जॉब है, फॉर इंस्टेंस लेट्स से सेल्स मैनेजर, या
Yeah.
फॉर वन पोजीशन, हाउ मेनी resumes would you get?
So sales manager is a type of position which is type of mid level, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about a middle level positions, and आज suppose मैंने अगर Indeed या LinkedIn पे post किया I'm looking for a sales manager, within like 3 hours I'll get like about 30-40 resumes, or 30-40 people reach out to me that, okay, like I have the experience what you're looking for, I want to know more about it. So any kind of interaction,
Hmm.
it just happens within first 24 hours when you put your job out there, and then the maximum resumes you receive is within first 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
So on an average, I would say for a sales manager job, if I post it, I would get around like 50 to 60 on an average from
Wow.
like all different kind of platforms.
Makes sense. No, 50 to 60. Wow. because I've been recruiting, like in my life, before this, I know that I at least did not have the time to go through all the resumes in detail. So what's that one thing for you? Because you have done that a lot more than I have. What's that one thing that stands out to you? When you are looking at 60 resumes.
To be honest with you, my strategy, how I work is it's first come, first serve basis. So if I'm looking at resume and if I find my candidate within looking at first 10 resumes, then obviously I'll go with that candidate. Okay. And then I'll try to see if he's a fit, he or she is a fit or not. The earlier you apply to a job, the earlier you put in your application. ऐसा बहुत कम होता है कि within first 10 resume you'll find your candidate, right? You have to go through your list eventually. Right. So what thing I look for is the match. Like you have the skill, you have the qualification. अगर मुझे लगता है resume में कि okay you can do the job, then I'll call you. कई लोग होते हैं resume में they have a great skill, great qualification, but when you call them, you get to know कि उन्होंने वो काम नहीं किया और किया है just once in like 5 years when they were working. Right. So finding out all those details is very important. So resume is just a way कि मैं qualify करके किसी को call करूँ और ज़्यादा उनको inspect करूँ that what they have done. Like what's that one thing that is a red alert? Either if you are looking at a resume or if you are making your first call and there's something that person says that you feel is it doesn't qualify. Not work out. Yeah. So first thing, like if I'm looking at a resume, if you have spelling errors, if you have like basic errors in your resume, so if you are saying you are you're a marketing person, or maybe you are good with content writing, that's what you have applied for, and the content in your resume is not correct, then obviously that's a red flag, right? Yeah. Another thing is when I'm jumping on a call with you, I'm always asking you that I want to schedule a call. Let me know what time you're free. Some people don't even reply back to me, so that's another red flag. So if you don't want a job, like why did you apply? I understand sometimes you get another position. That's good, but at least let us know that I've secured another opportunity or I'm no longer interested. So we don't keep on waiting on you and we can give that chance to another candidate. So just be responsive. So if someone is not responsive at all, that's another red flag that shows that they are not interested. Maybe they are, but that's how their personalities, that's how they go. And I said that in one of the live sessions that we did, and a lot of people, like backlashed on me saying that, oh, that we can say about the recruiter as well, because we reach out to 40 recruiters and 39 of them didn't respond to us. But I think one thing that they need to understand is the volume. You are applying to 40 jobs, you need the job, but the recruiter is getting 60 resumes. It's not humanly possible to respond to each of them, and obviously there are recruiters who would do that, but I think that's something that we need to humbly accept, that you may not hear from everyone where there's not a fit. कुछ इंडस्ट्रीज जो हैं जो बहुत ज़्यादा हायरिंग कर रही हैं, कुछ इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो बिल्कुल ही बंद है इस टाइम. सो इन योर व्यू, इन योर एक्सपीरियंस इन द लास्ट 1 year, सीइंग थ्रू द पेंडेमिक, वेव 1 फिर वेव 2 एंड देन एम्प्लॉयज कंप्लीटली शटिंग डाउन देयर हायरिंग प्रोसेस, अगर अब जो इमिग्रेंट्स आ रहे हैं इन 2021, व्हाट इंडस्ट्रीज वुड यू सजेस्ट देम? बिकॉज वन इज you're a sales manager, but you can be a sales manager in retail versus automobile. Absolutely. Right? So what are those industries that you think would do relatively better than some of the others? So in my opinion, first is the retail industry. So as you have seen, pandemic like these are counted as essential retails, right? So you can't just shut them off. So their hiring has increased. And the second one is technology companies. So right now, everybody is like working from home. Everybody's using Zoom. They're using Skype. They're using different kind of technologies, right? So any technology related companies, तो उनमें भी ज़्यादा hiring का increase हुआ है from the past 1 year or from the past 6 months, depending how the pandemic is going. IT companies on the same side. So software companies, anything I would say that's related to technology or anything that is essential to people that people can't live without. So those type of industries. Yes, healthcare is one of them as well. You're a pharmacist, or if you are like working at like Shoppers Drug Mart or Rexall or any other healthcare or pharmacy related company, even like call center people in healthcare, like I've seen so many jobs coming from like Shoppers, and they are like, oh, we need like 10-15 call center people who can help people with the so they have introduced a new drug for like depression and anxiety, and so many people are getting it because they are staying at home, they are not going out. So they are creating these helplines for these people. So customer service people, they will be calling them to take care of all that stuff. So healthcare and mental health, it's also on the rise. So jobs related to it will have more significance in the future.
One is that there are people who would have 2, 3, 4 years of experience versus there are people who would have 7, 8 years of experience, say in digital marketing or in marketing in general. And they would want to stand out, the people who have 2, 3 years of experience, right? So certification ka itna impact hota hai when you are looking at just a resume, like 2 resumes. One has a certification, say in digital marketing, some Facebook certification, Google certification, versus someone who has like 7, 8 years of experience.
Absolutely, it does matter. I would say if I'm comparing to resume, and it depends, it comes back to what kind of job you're hiring for. So certification is a proof that you know that skill. That's what certification is. So someone who has like 2-3 years of experience and they have certification, they can compete with someone who has 5 years of experience. So based on that fact, so obviously certification and courses does matter because it shows, first of all, you are up to the date with the market. You know what are the latest system, latest products. Like being in IT, certification is so important, and being in digital marketing too, because you have so many softwares, you have so many programs you are working on, and it's changing every day. So depending from profession to profession, it matters, I would say.
Like, would you consider, someone who has 6 years of experience in B2B marketing and he's applying for a digital marketing job because he wants to make that switch? So to cover that, he has probably done, a couple of digital marketing certifications. Like, would that be something that you would be interested to look at?
It depends from client to client. So like I don't have an independent decision in that case because some clients are like, bring me the person, even they have limited experience. They are open to looking at that kind of candidate. But some are like, no, we just want someone who has B2B, at least 5 years of experience, and we cannot flex on it at all. So that's their final decision.
All right. No, makes sense. Thanks a lot, Alisha, for this. And yeah, it was really helpful. I think it's very rare that you, if I may say, get into the head of the recruiter because you always wonder what they are thinking. And this interview, I think this, discussion would really help a lot of people who are coming in. And it's going to be an uphill battle for people who are coming in because it's 2021 and it's still COVID and we don't know when the vaccination is happening. So yeah, it'll be a challenge, but I think this discussion would really help them. So thanks a lot for doing this. So guys, अगर ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो प्लीज लाइक करके जाना, एंड ये सारे टिप्स जो हैं ये हमने अपनी ई बुक में भी डाले हैं और लिंक जो है वो डिस्क्रिप्शन में, सो डू चेक दैट आउट. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.
बाय बाय.